Hey guys, I'm really excited to show you how to make my circuitry bracelet. This is a one loom design. It does take a little patience because of the way that it's made. It takes a little longer, but I love it and think it's worth it. You do want to come back at the end though, because it doesn't look just like this when you take it off of the loom. So come back at the end for that. I'm just going to do this kind of style for the color scheme. So you need about 164 bands. That's 104 of the base color, which is yellow on this one, and 30 of each one of these two colors. You will have to add an extension if you only use the one loom, but you can connect another one if you want to avoid that. So for now, we're going to grab our band, C-clip, and loom, and I'll show you the setup. So to get started, we need to have 3 bars aligned next to each other with the openings facing away from us. We're going to start by choosing the border color, and that's going to be orange on here. I'm going to use green. We're going to lay one loose one on the center for closing it at the end, and then we're going to go out to the left and the right. And then we're going to lay a straight one on each outer row. We're not going to lay any more for now. We have to alternate laying some and then adding some stitches. So turn your loom to the right. We're actually going to be turning the loom a lot of directions. We're going to choose our stitch color. So I alternate each section using 2 different colors here. So I'm going to use purple for my first section. You do need 3 bands. We're going to place our hook under this green band, attach your stitch band to the hook, pull it under, attach the other side, and then we're going to pull that back band through the front, and that creates a slip stitch. We're going to place this band on the center pin right here. We have to do that 2 more times. Place your hook under, attach your stitch band, pull it under and connect the other end, slip stitch it, and place that band on the center. Repeat that 1 more time. Like that. We're going to grab our border color. We're going to lay that across the 2 center pins. And now we're going to flip over those 3 stitches. Like that. We need to move this green band up to these 2 pins. So I grab one side at a time and move it up. The reason I don't immediately stretch these 3 bands up here is it just pulls them and stretches them too much. So once you do that, turn your loom back around so the openings are facing away from you. We're going to start laying our next section. So grab your border color. We're going to start laying 2 horizontals. So we need to start from the left. That is very important, because we are going to be alternating which side we start from after this. Push it down and now lay 2 straight ones. 1 on each outer row. We're now going to turn the loom to the left, and we're going to add those stitch bands on again from this side. So this time I'm going to use pink. And there is another way that I like to do the stitches, but I'm going to show you it this way 1 more time, and then I'll show you another way that I do it. But we're going to pull that stitch band under the green, close it, pull the first through the second, and now we're going to pull it up to this same center pin right here. Don't bring it there, because then it will be out of order when we flip them over. We're going to repeat this process 2 more times. Place that on the center pin and push it down a little. We're going to grab a border color and lay that across those 2 pins. And now we're going to flip over those 3 stitch bands. We now need to move the green from here up to these 2 pins. Do it carefully. Turn your loom around so the openings are away from you. And we're going to start that again. So each time we start, we have to lay horizontal bands, and we do have to keep alternating which side we start from. So if you look, do you see how I have 2 bands on this pin? This straight one here, and then this one that's going through the pink. So I count that as 2, but if you see on the left, we only have 1. On the row before, we had 2 over here, but 1 on this side. Each time we have 2 on that side, that's the side we need to start our horizontal band on. So if I walked away and came back and was like, oh, what side am I supposed to start from? I just look and see, well, where are the 2 bands? It's on the right, so I know that I need to start on the right. That's also a good indicator to know which side you have to start your next stitches on. I'll show you in 1 second. We're going to lay 2 straight ones. We started on the right with the horizontal, which means we need to turn our loom to the right to do our next stitches. So I'm going to go back to my purple, and I'm going to show you a way that I do it. I find it just a teeny bit quicker. So this part is the same, where we put our hook under, pull the stitch through, and slip stitch. But instead of adding it onto the center, just keep it on your hook. Place the hook back under, grab your next stitch, pull it up, close it, act like that last band isn't even there. You're going to continue as normal, pulling the first through the second, creating your slip stitch. You can hold them with your finger when you go under it, just so you don't lose them. Pull your last one through. We're going to slip stitch it. Now that we have 3 bands, I'm going to grab my border color, and we're going to pull it through all 3. We're going to attach this band up here to the top pins. I attach one side and then I grab the other end with my hook, but that's just me because I always lose one side. So you can either do it that way that I showed you, or you can do it the first way. Whatever is fastest or easiest for you. So we're going to start that again. We're going to lay the horizontal starting from the left, and then lay 2 straight ones. I'm going to turn my loom to the left this time, and we're going to add our stitches on again. So I'm going to do this part one more time, and I'm going to do it the way that I have been doing it. The way that I do it off screen, I mean. So I'm going to pull this stitch through and slip stitch. Hold on to it, come back under. Grab my next one. And one more time. Once you have 3 bands, pull your border color through and attach it to the upper pins. Turn it around so the openings are away from you, and you're ready to start your next section. So you would start your horizontal on the right, because as a reminder, we have 2 bands on that right pin right there. So if you are using one loom, you are going to go all the way down to the end of the loom. I'll come back once I have mine filled out, and we will do the last horizontal bands together to close it off. So go ahead and get yours done, and I will meet you back here. Alright, so you guys will be still laying yours. Hit the pause button. Once you're called out, we're going to close off the bottom down here. So we're just going to lay a horizontal from each side. It doesn't actually matter the order for this last row. And then we're going to turn the loom around so the openings are facing us. And we're going to add one more border color to the center. Just wrap it 2 times. And now we can start the looping. So this is a little bit of a tricky looping because we have to keep going back and forth, and there's a lot of the same color on the pins. So I'm going to name these bands, the ones that are coming out of these stitches, the ones that have that curve in them, I'm going to call them the connector band. It'd just be easier if I have a name for them. So we're going to start by going into the cap band and looping these first 2 bands back to themselves. We're going to loop the connector bands forward. So I'm going to do the right one first. And on the left side, it is the 3rd band down, but it's still that connector band and it gets looped forward. Go back into that same pin and we're going to loop that bottom band to the center. We just completed the first section technically, so we're going to start all over again. And this is where you'll see the pattern. So from where we left off, we're going to come over to the left and we're going to loop the horizontal bands from left to right. It is the 4th band down if you need to count. We'll loop it to the right. Go in the center and grab the very bottom band and loop that to the right. We're going to stop from here and back up 2 pins. We're going to loop up this connector band and then we'll come over and loop this connector band up. But I like to do the left side. Well, for this section, I want to do the left side first. We will be alternating, but so we don't forget it. Come back to the right pin. We're going to grab the other connector band. This time it is the 2nd to last band on the pin. Go back into that same one. Grab the bottom band and loop that up to the center. We just completed that section. We're going to start again. So this time, this is where we end it. We're going to come back to the right. If you notice, this diagonal band that we looped to the middle, it's going to keep switching sides. So whichever side it's coming from, like this one's coming from the right, so I know I need to back up to the right to start the next section. Hopefully that can be helpful. So we're going to go into this pin and grab the 4th band down, loop the horizontal band to the center, grab the bottom band, loop it to the left. We're going to back up 2 pins and loop the bottom band, which is the connector band for this round. Come back over to this one where we left off. And the connector band on this one is the second to last band. Loop that up. We're going to go back into the same pin that we were just on, and we're going to loop that up to the center. We're going to start the pattern again. So we are going to back up, grab the horizontal band, loop it in, and do that again. We're going to back up 2 pins. We're going to loop the bottom band up, come back over to the right, and loop the connector band on this side. It is the second to last band on this one. Go back in, loop the bottom band to the center. So we're going to start again. From here, we're going to back up to the right this time, loop the horizontal band into the center, and repeat again for the second horizontal, looping it out to the left. We're going to back up 2 pins, loop up the bottom band, come back over to this pin, grab the second to last band and loop that forward. We need to go back into that same pin, and we're going to loop this up to the center. From here, we're going to back up 1, and we're going to start the next section. So we're going to grab this horizontal band and loop it in. Do that again. Back up to this side, loop the very bottom band forward. Come back over here, and we're going to loop the other connector band. It is the second to last band on this one. It's usually the one that gives me trouble grabbing. We're going to go back into that pin and loop this up to the center. So this time we're going to back up to the right, loop the horizontal band to the center, repeat that again. We're going to back up to this part, loop the bottom band forward, come back to this side and loop the second to last band forward. Go into the same pin and loop it up to the middle. Hopefully you guys are catching on to that pattern. I'm going to loop it with my loom down now. So we just looped here. We're going to back up, loop the horizontals. We're going to back up 2 pins and loop the bottom band forward. That's our connector band. Come back over to this outer pin and loop the connector band on this side. The second to last band. Go back in that pin and loop it up to the center. So we have a couple more to do. I'm going to go off screen and get those ones finished. So go ahead and keep getting that looped up and I'll meet you guys back here. When you guys make it to the top of the loom, we're just going to close it off and bring the bottom band on both upper corner pins into the center. And then that loose band that we laid there at the beginning, we're going to reach in and grab the other side of it, and that's where our C-clip will go. So we're going to C-clip it and get this off the loom. Okay, when you take it off of the loom, give it a stretch. Most likely it's going to be messy. You can see, actually some of mine came out really good, but you can see that some of mine are really kind of puffed out here. My version of this was intended to look like this, where you see the V-stitches alternating. So if you come to the side that does not have the little dashes, see how these little dashes are right here? So I'm going to come over here, and there is a green stitch right there. Sometimes it's really tucked in. So if you want to start by kind of pulling that out a little, you can. But the goal here is to put our hook under it and pick up those stitches, the 3 stitches, and pull them out. I usually have this like close to my face, so we're going to try to do this on screen. But put your hook through those 3 like that, and then just pull it out. You want to do that to each one. This one doesn't need it, but I'm just going to do it to show you. We're going to do that to each one, and then when we're done fixing them all, and you go like this, it sits perfect, or how it was supposed to sit. So that's all you have to do. Just go under the V-stitch, and then pull those 3 stitches out. Then obviously for the other side, you have to flip it and do this side on every other one. Now don't forget, you will need to make an extension. I do recommend just a single chain. I don't feel that a fishtail is needed for this design. I will have a video in the description box if you need to watch that. But that is it. That is how you create my circuitry bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope you guys show me yours on Instagram or Facebook. I love seeing your renditions. But that will be all today, you guys. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.